TFNN opens the door to the futures. Want to see into the future? Climb aboard and come with us. Takes your phone calls now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. This is the Futures Hour.
Okay, good morning, everyone. This is going to be a really fun day for me because our guest today is going to be John Hill from Futures Truth out of Hendersonville, North Carolina. If there was one person in this world that probably had more to do with me being where I am today, it is John Hill. I have to give almost equal value to Dr. Ruth Miller, but believe me, John Hill is really a special person. He's 85 years old. All three of his grown kids are professionally trading. The painting that's in my office that has all the rules and all the patterns on it, I actually got all of that stuff from John, and I actually had a painting like that made for him many years ago. I'm pretty sure he still has it in his office. But he's going to join us on the last half hour of the show. I hope that you folks have a chance to call in if you have any questions. I'm going to try to get him to talk about, what it takes to, be successful in this business. He started as a chemical engineer many years ago. I first met him in the spring of 1970 at the cycle meeting in San Francisco, and it wasn't until 1974 that we bonded really well because he showed me how to use a proportional divider and understand why Fibonacci numbers move the way they do. And he showed me that you could just take a little piece of paper and make your own proportional divider. But he was there's so many things that he's done for me through the years. I just can't tell you how much. But it'll be fun to talk to him. He's 85, trades every day, and he'll be a lot of fun. Anyway, the thing that's important today and that people keep asking me is the bottom end. Well, folks, you're going to have to tune in to somebody else because I don't know for sure. It's still way too early. We are only just a few hours from where the market made a low, and we could easily go down and make lower lows. There are a couple of things out there that telling us that maybe this lunar cycle that occurred on the 15th yesterday is going to hold. The first one that I looked at was a divergence in the transportations index. The transportations index didn't even come close to taking out Monday's lows. That's a very good sign. The second sign is that the SPY and also the futures did not take out the low from the last low that we made way back on May the 14th, I believe. And so that's another positive thing that we're looking at. That takes care of what I think is happening in the stock market. This is Thursday. We have, I believe, options expiration coming in tomorrow, so we will get some increased volatility. But as long as we don't close below that low we made early today, I would say, yes, we've got a chance of making a bottom. But, the bottom could very easily come in, on over the weekend on the 18th or 19th because we have some aspects that are due there. So don't get caught up too much. I covered all the shorts that I had on yesterday right near the close, and whether that's right or not, we'll have to wait and see. Well, this is the commodity hour, and we do have some things to look at on commodities. First of all, last week we had Rich Anderson on from Anderson Capital Management, and he talked to us about corn, how bullish the fundamentals were in corn, and that if we get a pullback that, we should be looking to buy it. Well, this morning we got a pullback. Today I posted a chart in the room that shows that we've made a perfect 61% retracement in December corn right off of that low we made on May the 14th. And it looks like it's held so far at that 666 level, and we'll have to, 656 level. We'll have to see if that holds. But this is a place where, if you would like to be bullish corn, this is a place to actually look at it. If you have any questions, you can call in at 877-927-6648. It's very important, the low that we're having now in just about everything that's occurring. If you notice, the commodities have come down strong into this cycle. Both gold and silver have come down into the cycle. The futures, corn, wheat, soybeans, rice have all sold off into this. And so this is a very important bottom. The reason is that if we do not get a bullish move out of here in either stocks or any of these commodities, we're facing a very similar situation like we had in 2008, and that's where the markets just kept rolling over and rolling over and rolling over. That does not happen very often, but it does happen. that's one of the advantages of looking at some of these cycles, that when they fail, that's telling you that the things that are usually there are not there, and you have to change your strategy a little bit. It's very hard when you've got profits and the market's coming down strong is to take your profits. And the reason why is we become greedy just like everybody else. I'm no different than anybody else out there. I want every dime that I can get out of this thing. And so what you try to do is to realize that this is not a business of being right or wrong. This is a business of making money. If you can make money more times than you lose money, you're going to be successful. And, that's really the bottom line. So if you combine pattern recognition with a little bit of common sense and a little bit of cycles, that's what you're looking for. I enjoy the TFNN radio shows because I listen to Bud, I listen to Basil, and I listen to Tom, and they all talk about risk control. They give you things that, I don't look at, like volume and some of the channel things and the ABCs, the way that Basil does them. And these are things that you add to your armamentarium to help you to be successful in the market. So it's like putting a little shopping bag together, and you're adding things as you go down the aisle, to find out, what you like to do for the best. Now, I do pattern recognition swing trading, and that's what I primarily do, and I mostly do futures. Now, since we're talking about futures, we have to start talking about the currency because the dollar has increased dramatically over these last several days. Tom was on TFNN last week talking about he thought the dollar was going to explode to the upside, and he certainly was. The other thing I know for sure is when he gets back on CNBC again, they won't remember that. They'll ask him about what's going to happen next. They never talk about what you did in the past. So that's another thing, that once something is over, go on to the next thing, because it really doesn't mean anything, after it's over. We like to relish our victories. I'm sure that's what's happening in Boston with the Bruins winning last night. And it was the most exciting 4-0 hockey game I've ever seen. I was on the phone with Mark Douglas most of the night just talking about the plays and stuff. And I don't understand hockey very much, but, boy, he certainly does. And he was jumping out of his seat, so I knew it was an exciting time. Okay, now we talked about corn. Now, the other one that we watch really closely is the rice contract and also the wheat contract. And the wheat contract has been far weaker than any of the others, which is very unusual because wheat has pulled down back to where we were last May. This might be a place that we'll be looking to go long wheat if we can take out these lows in these next few days, and then we'll see where we have some support and resistance coming in. But until that happens, I think it's best to just sit on our hands. The best strategy, if you're in the stock indices, either from the long side or short side, is just to wait to see what type of rally we get out of this. If in fact we do get a rally, the odds favor a rally because we've been down so much, but that doesn't mean we can't go higher. Now, when we talk about the silver and gold market, we're short the silver. We're short the gold market for the newsletter. We sold the GLD when gold was around the 1550 level, which was the 786, and so what we do is we move our stop down to break even, which is around 150.53 in the GLD. That's equivalent to 15.53 in the futures, and so as long as we don't get above that, we have a chance. Now, the gold has done something this week that has been pretty important, and that is the fact that it's went down to that 15.10, 15.12, 15.11 three different times, and is held. So that's telling us that we have some pretty strong support in that area. Now, the other one that we talked about on the show with Rich last week was the crude oil market. And we mentioned that 95 level in crude oil was going to be looked at by every technician on the planet. And we have disintegrated that number because we got almost down to 93. I think we got to 94.12 or something like that. We're trading around 94.43. And as a matter of fact, we went below 94. So that has been broken. Now, whether it completely falls out of bed or not remains to be seen. Because the last time we got down there, the 95 level held for 4 different times before it finally, rallied off of it. So everybody knows that there's stops down here at the 95 level. They took those out yesterday. It's still going lower today. All it needs to really be bearish is for the crude oil to drop another couple of dollars a barrel, and it's going to be on its way to $85 a barrel. I know the bullish people think that cannot happen, but when these markets start in one direction, they can certainly do it. The reason behind it, you could write a whole tablet on a 14 by 18 tablet and write down the reasons. But the main one that people seem to be watching is the fact that Greeks are ready to default on their debt. The interest rates on the 30-year or their long-term bonds are 30%. And anytime someone's giving you a 30% rate of interest, you can imagine that it's going to be pretty nasty. This is what the credit card company do to people that have poor credit. They give them all the credit they want at 30% because they know they'll never be able to pay it back. And yet they take that money, and I think it takes 26 years or something to pay it back with the minimum payment. So whenever interest rates are that high, there's a big problem. In 1972, Mexico was giving bank accounts down in Tijuana and Juarez, Mexico, where they were giving 25% interest rates in their accounts. The problem was that after 3 months, they devalued 10 to 1. So if you had $10,000 down there, you were still getting your 25% interest rates, but you were only getting it on $1,000. That reminds me of my favorite quote from Bernard Baruch, and that is, don't be concerned on the return of your money. Be concerned on the return of your money. In other words, capital preservation. That's where we really, really want to start to look at this. Okay, now someone just asked a question about the Treasury bonds. I mean, we've been up to this 126 level. This is, I think, the fifth time. Each time that I was looking at it several weeks ago at that 126.08, it's backed off dramatically from there. I think that it's the same type of thing, that we're going to head lower in the Treasury bonds. It's just a matter that they're using this as a flight to quality, which I've always felt that that's an oxymoron to think that our U.S. Treasury bond is a flight to quality. I mean, they're using credit cards worse than a teenager at a shopping mall. So it's just really horrible what's happening. Our debt is so high. I mean, $1 trillion a year more than last year is insane. That has nothing to do with technical stuff. I just wanted to vent my feelings on that, because I think we should pay for some of this stuff along the road, but that's neither here nor there. The pattern in the Treasury bonds is definitely a bearish pattern. It's an AB equals CD correction pattern, and that is in a bear market where you have lower tops and lower bottoms. That 126, we've been talking about that in the Treasury bonds for a great deal of time now. So it hasn't gone down yet. It keeps dropping down to 124 and change, and then comes back. But soon it's going to give up the ghost, and I think we'll head to start lower. And we'll be able to see if that's the case. We're going to take a short pause here for a correction. We're going to have John Hill on at the top of the half hour, at the bottom of the half hour. If you have any questions for John, please call him. He's a really nice fellow. 877-927-6648.
Tiger University's Tiger Trading Tracks is your blueprint to building a solid foundation of comprehensive trading tools. An in-depth educational program, Tiger Trading Tracks features a step-by-step process for understanding the markets and creating success strategies for your trading. The Tiger Trading Track journey will prepare you to adapt and develop a personal trading and investing strategy that will perform best for you. While you can't control the markets you trade, a Tiger Trading Tracks education will allow you to understand your personal trading and investing needs and what markets are best suited for you. Now is the time for you to travel your path to financial independence. Follow your Tiger Trading Track to trading and investment success. Go to tigeruniversity.com and click on Tiger Trading Track in the navigation bar. Choose the course that most interests you and begin your education today.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today. Click Investments Newsletters and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
Are you looking for some extra cash to help pay off some of your bills? Let Tiger Metal Exchange convert your unwanted jewelry to cash. We pay out 80% of the market price for gold. Our payouts are the highest in the industry, more than double our largest competitors. And we've created the safest, easiest, and most straightforward process for converting your jewelry to cash. Log on to TigerMetalExchange.com and get your free scale, your free eye loop, and get the cash you deserve now. We provide a free online calculator that converts your jewelry to cash at up-to-the-minute spot prices. We insure your items for up to $75,000 per shipment free of charge. We videotape the entire valuation process so that you can view it online. You can call us toll-free at 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. Let Tiger Metal Exchange put more cash in your pocket without ever leaving the comfort of your home. Join the list of thousands of satisfied customers and go to TigerMetalExchange.com. It's the only click you need to make.
You've heard Bud Rolfs give his expert technical analysis of the stock market on the radio. Now you can have his superior trading advice and his best stock picks delivered right to your desktop every week with his newsletter, The Torch. Using his own trademarked Warpath trading system, Bud will help you to increase your odds of making and saving money in the markets with powerful stock selection, stock analysis, and trading plan strategies. Published every Monday morning, each issue of The Torch features full-color charts in an easy-to-follow format. You will also receive not only the big picture of what's going on in the major markets and critical sectors, but also featured stock picks with complete trading plans and technical setups, as well as the Subscribers Corner, where Bud analyzes stocks submitted by subscribers. Visit TFNN.com today and receive your 2-week free trial of The Torch. That's a $75 value. Sign up now and make sure you receive all the great market analysis and winning trade ideas in every action-packed issue of The Torch from Bud Rolfs.
TFNN introduces Tiger TV. Tiger TV brings you video content to help you succeed in the financial markets and beyond. Investors and traders can get in-depth information, news, commentary, and education for investing and trading equities, options, commodities, Forex, futures, and more. Just go to TFNN.com and click Tiger TV and select your favorite channel from the carousel on the left. Grab a popcorn and get ready for Tiger TV, a great new service from TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Now, back to the Futures Hour.
Okay, folks, in about 7 minutes, we're going to have John Hill on from Futures Truth. John, I believe, started Futures Truth, oh gosh, I forget, so far back, 30-some years ago, to basically, expose people that were not too conducive to the industry, and also to report on people how well they did in their trading, and he still uses it. His service is still quite valuable today. If you have any questions for John, you can call in at 877-927-6648. But right now, what I did was someone requested me to put up the AB/CD pattern that we're having now in the Treasury bonds, and we have a great deal of resistance up in this 126 to 127 level in this market. Realize that the Treasury bonds bottomed last February, and we've been pretty much, we had a little back off into April, and in April, May, and now June, so we're 10 weeks into a rally, and that makes it pretty much an outlier event. As low as we've been is around 123 and change, and I frankly think we're getting ready to go under. The $64 question is whether we're going to actually have a huge what they call flight to quality, which I've referred to it as the ultimate oxymoron, where we could get the Treasury bonds maybe up another 5 or 6 points up to that 134 level, 131 level, which would really be, quite amazing. So I don't know if that's going to happen. The open interest is not giving us any idea of that, so we'll just have to wait and see. If I had 2 trades to do today, the 2 trades I would look at. I would, first I was bullish on stocks yesterday, but, looking to buy that corn if it backs off a little bit because it's already hit the 618 and then try to get, short these bonds, because I think if the stock market has made a minor bottom, we'll probably get a little sell-off in the bonds, and that would be, something to look at. So whether that occurs or not, we'll just have to wait and see. The grain markets have held up relatively well, over the sell-off that we've had the last couple of weeks, 8 or 9 days. And it's very important because we're in the midst of the growing season now, especially as we come into July 4th. There's an old adage is, corn is as high as an elephant eye, and it better be high this year because, there's a lot of corn out there. Nearby corn is selling for almost $1 a bushel more than the new crop corn, the corn that is being planted right now and growing. So there's a tremendous demand for that, and, that's the reason, why we have these things. John is going to be on pretty soon, but he was also one of the reasons when I went to work for Drexel for those 6 years after I left. John and I knew that these desktop computers would be coming, and we wanted to know if our stop placement would be good. So when I went to the floor of the exchange, I talked to John daily, and we talked about stops and how well they protected the stops of the people that were using. And then whenever I had a chance, I would take my car and go down to Hendersonville, North Carolina, to John's ranch and stay there for 4 or 5 days, a little R&R and trading. And he had a big bell there. He had a couple of cows. Well, he had more than a couple, but he had one cow named Bessie, and he had this cowbell in his office. And every time he had a profit, he would ring this bell. And I'll tell you, sometimes you'd go in there and your head would be ringing because you'd have a terrific day, and you'd walk out of there with a headache almost. So it's so many memories that brings me back. I'm glad to be able to have him on the show if technicals permit it today, but we should be able to. It should be about time now. I haven't noticed anyone give me a little bit of a nudge that John is on the air yet. So I'll just keep talking until I see that we have him as our guest. John has probably one of the best libraries of anybody out there. I mean, he really does. He's just got about everything under the sun. I tried to model my library, after his. The reason why I still do mentoring at the age of 70 is because of John Hill. He was able to tell me to help other people, and just like he helped me. And so I've tried to do that, through the years, in part the things that I like. He guided me into certain things to look at. The George Cole book. I mean, there were so many of them. The Schaubacher books, the books by Wyckoff. I mean, just really a whole great, a lot of them. I didn't do much astrology work with John. That was done with Dr. Ruth Miller. But all the technical stuff that I've learned, the basis of everything that I've worked with, including the cycles and Fibonacci, and he was the first man to show me Fibonacci in 1970, I believe, when we were up in San Francisco. And anyway, it was a real treat to be able to be involved with this man, and the fact that he's doing so well, at this level. Anyway, we've got a little commercial coming here, and then after the commercial, we hope we'll have John on, and if not, we'll have some more things on the grain markets. If you have any questions, 877-927-6648.
O'Brien's weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, gives traders, investors, and money managers a thorough strategy for trading in the gold market. If you're an investor in gold or any of the gold mining equities, this newsletter is an essential tool that can help you become a better trader in the gold market. The Gold Report comes out every Monday with complete coverage of the entire gold market, including the XAU, HUI, the dollar, the bond, the rand, as well as more than 35 different mining equities. For the low price of $150, you will receive 13 weeks of the Gold Report, or you can order up to a full year for under $500. If you'd like to find out more about the Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com, or for more information, call our office at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
Time Timing the Trade Charts is a complete charting software package that brings together all the tools that you need to analyze stocks using Tom O'Brien's Timing the Trade methodology in one easy-to-use application. For the low yearly rate of $449, Timing the Trade Charts automatically computes swing points, ABCs, Fibonacci retracement levels, confluence, gaps, and much more. Timing the Trade Charts is now available at TFNN.com, and you can download it and try it risk-free for 7 days. We're so confident that you'll love this new charting software package that we're offering a 30-day, no questions asked money-back guarantee. If you're not completely satisfied with this software, just let us know within 30 days and you'll get a complete refund. In order to take advantage of this great offer, log on to TFNN.com and click on the Timing the Trade Charts banner or call our office at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
Great Basin Gold is an international gold mining company with 2 producing mines in the world's most prolific gold mining areas, the Hollister Gold Mine on the Carlin Trend in Nevada and the Burnstone Gold Mine in the Wits Basin in South Africa. The Burnstone Mine is a low-cost, long-life, shallow mine that is a company builder, and the Hollister Mine is one of the world's highest-grade ore bodies being mined today. Burnstone offers a huge re-rating potential by producing in the 4th quarter, and Hollister represents a tremendous and very exciting exploration opportunity. With annual production of 165,000 ounces of gold in 2010, 260,000 in 2011, and 330,000 ounces of gold in 2012, Great Basin is poised to become a leading mid-tier gold producer. Great Basin Gold has resources of over 13 million ounces, exceptional organic growth potential at its current mines, and greenfield operations in Tanzania and Mozambique. Great Basin has strong management and a commitment to deliver exceptional value and cash flow to its shareholders while acting responsibly toward its surrounding communities. To find out more about Great Basin Gold, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the American Stock Exchange, symbol GBG.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes a carefully selected portfolio can lower your volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angelo O'Brien, financial advisor and certified financial planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. My new book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, is for sale at Amazon.com for only $18.40.
Now, back to the Futures Hour.
Okay, folks, we're back, and we're going to have John Hill as our guest. If you have any questions for John, call 877-927-6648. Are you there, my friend?
I'm here.
Well, glad to have you on the show, John. This is John Hill of Futures Truth, and it's a real pleasure. I've told them all about you, and so go ahead and tell us a little bit about Futures Truth, John, and then I had a question or two that I wanted to ask you that might help our listeners.
Futures Truth is a publication that tracks publicly offered trading systems. It started about 20 years ago when I got tired of getting all this mail from people who were going to make me rich next week. So I started tracking them. And pretty soon I started tracking the bad systems, but then people with good stuff started coming to us. So we've kind of become the Ralph Nader consumers deal for trading methodologies in the future.
What's the best way for the folks to get in touch with you, John? Do you have a website that they can use?
Futurestruth.com.
No, that's easy enough. John, I have a question. You trained me, 40 years ago. If you were to give a young person or actually an older person that's out there that's not quite making some advice, what would be the best advice you could give them to maybe, turn it around?
The best thing, learn to read the charts. Don't listen. Be careful about all the so-called experts that the market's going to go up or the market's going to go down. Learn how to read the charts. Supply and demand is shown on the chart.
John, I remember you gave me a book when I first met you. I think you published it in the early 60s. It's a commodity technical analysis of the commodity markets or something like that. I still have it on my bookshelf there. But is that book still available? I know you have another great book called The Ultimate Trading Guide that's very good, but that first book is the reason that I have that painting. John, as I recall, I used all the quotes from my for my painting, but didn't I have a painting made for you, an oil painting? I don't remember. It's been so long ago.
Yeah. Larry, I really forget what it was, but we still get many people calling us and telling us that first book was really the best in pointing out supply and demand on a chart. A chart. People can come on the air and tell you, oh, buy soybeans, but how much money do they have personally in the market? So what you need to, only the chart shows where the big money's going, and what you want to do is follow the big money, and the chart tells all.
Is there any particular trades that you're looking at right now?
Are there any particular trades?
I don't want to put you on the spot to give a buy and sell, but are any market that you think has a longer firm potential? I have to tell this story, John. You remember when I was back to visit you one time, the fellow... Oh, John, we've got a break here. I'll come back, and I want to tell the story about the guy that made all that gold back in the early 80s. So stay with me, my friend.
All righty.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today. Click Investments Newsletters and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the Forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we pay you more for converting your jewelry to cash.
Let's go to Brian in New Jersey. Hey, Brian, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, just want to let you know I did give you some jewelry. My jeweler offered me about $650, but you get a check in the mail tomorrow for about $1,200.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, it's all about honesty when converting your jewelry to cash.
Okay, let's go to Paul in Florida first. Hey, Paul, what's going on?
I want to commend you on the Tiger Metal Exchange. I just did a deal with you guys the other day.
Oh, good.
I'm very happy.
Well, I appreciate it. Now, Did you sell us jewelry or did you buy coins off us?
Yeah, I sold you jewelry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What we weighted at was less than you guys said, so, you're totally honest.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we give you the tools to value your gold, and it's absolutely free. Call 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. We've created the easiest, safest, and most honest cash for gold process. Tiger Metal Exchange. It's the only call you need to make.
TFNN introduces Tiger TV. Tiger TV brings you video content to help you succeed in the financial markets and beyond. Investors and traders can get in-depth information, news, commentary, and education for investing and trading equities, options, commodities, Forex, futures, and more. Just go to TFNN.com and click Tiger TV and select your favorite channel from the carousel on the left. Grab a popcorn and get ready for Tiger TV, a great new service from TFNN.com.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. My new book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, is for sale at Amazon.com for only $18.40.
Now, back to the Futures Hour.
Okay, we're back with John Hill from Futures Truth. And John, the question that seems to be on several of our listeners' minds is that you specialize in multiple system strategies. I believe that's for risk control and diversification?
Hello.
Yeah, John, are you there? The question that they've been asking me is that you use multiple system strategies. In other words, you use 2 or 3 systems at the same time to manage money. Is that correct?
That is correct. We're CTAs, and we use a number of anti-correlated systems. For instance, one system may be short and the other one long, and that reduces the volatility. And when you make the big money is when all systems get in tune with the market. We use 4 different strategies at present.
Can people find out about these if they go to your website, futurestruth.com?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be good to look at. I think that's a really wonderful way of reducing risk and increasing profitability. And you've spent the last 25 years working on systems, as I know personally.
Yeah. Well, I'm an engineer by training, and I guess I tell the story. A bad thing happened to me. I had a wife, 3 kids, a big house mortgage, and $1,000. And one day somebody mentioned leverage in the futures market, and I literally ran that 1,000 up to 85,000 in 3 months. So obviously I lost a fair amount of it back. But I said there are 2 things that work. Number 1, it can be done once, it can be done again. And number 2, there's a big element of stupidity, and I had to get some smarts. So that's how I ended up in the futures business.
And all 3 of your children are traders too, as I
Yeah.
John? Go ahead, John. I'm sorry.
We're CTAs, but the magazine is my first love because I had made a lot of money with it, but it's the source of great satisfaction.
I'm personally aware of that because I was involved when you first started it, and it is a great place to to get information without a doubt. John, if there was one book that in your library that you would recommend people to get, and also use your own book, because I think that little white book, the Commodity Trend Analysis, is one of the best, and also The Ultimate Trading Guide. But if a person had to have several books in their libraries, do you have any particular ones that you would recommend our listeners to really get to?
Well, have them contact me, and I'll send them 10 best books.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that would be good. This is all they have to do is go to futurestruth.com and ask them.
Yeah, the other thing I think you asked me earlier what I see coming, and what sectors I would look at. 2 things: get out of the U.S. dollar; it's doomed. Where I've placed my money is in my idle cash that I'm not investing is in Australian dollars and Canadian dollars. In Australia, they're hiring people, and they're rich in natural resources. Number 3, they're not going around the world telling everybody you got to be a democracy or we'll shoot you. I'm not criticizing our government. That's the way our leaders are taking us. But the U.S. dollar is doomed. You think what's going on in Greece now is terrible? wait do you see what happens in this country when the welfare checks get cut back. We can't afford it. So I encourage people to at least put some of their assets in other currencies. I still like silver and gold. It's been wonderful for me. As a matter of fact, that enabled me to escape the chemical industry back in the 80s when gold went from $35, to $800. So, you know, it's a tough business, but I don't mean to imply it's easy. What I tell people is the hard way to earn an easy living.
I agree. You don't learn it overnight either. It takes several years usually to get your hands around something that actually works.
Yeah. Yeah.
John, if you had to, take someone, under your wing and say, look, you're going to make this a business, how much time would you say it would take someone, just a neophyte that knows very little about the futures markets or the stock markets or the Forex markets, how long would you say realistically it would take someone to really learn enough that they could actually support their family?
2 years.
Okay, that makes sense. It's about half of a regular college education, which isn't bad, and that's 2 years of working full-time or even more than full-time, I assume.
Well, to me, you got to have fire in the belly, or else there's another approach: find competent money managers and look at records. Look at my record. Look at other people's records.
Yeah.
They are, and we're very closely policed by the authorities. We cannot mislead you in any way, or way out of business. So that's several ways to do it.
John, you said we're policed. You're talking about the futures market, because Madoff, he certainly was he was in stocks and some other things, but he was able to hoodwink people for 16 years. I mean, how can he do something like that?
I guarantee you can't do that in the futures industry.
Yes, that's for sure. They police us a lot better. That's for sure.
The way it's done is your money is put in an account and you have complete control on it. And the money managers, you give them authority to place orders in there, and you can shut it down at any time. I mean, that's the way the business is organized. Mm-hmm. And as I tell people, don't look at me, look at 10 other people, and find the money manager that you're comfortable with. I don't know what else to say. That's one way to do it. The other way is to learn to do it yourself. There's nothing like learning how to do it yourself.
Okay, John, stay with us. We have about 8 more minutes of the show, and then we'll have a short commercial, and then about 8 more minutes, okay?
For some extra cash to help pay off some of your bills? Let Tiger Metal Exchange convert your unwanted jewelry to cash. We pay out 80% of the market price for gold. Our payouts are the highest in the industry, more than double our largest competitors. And we've created the safest, easiest, and most straightforward process for converting your jewelry to cash. Log on to TigerMetalExchange.com and get your free scale, your free eye loop, and get the cash you deserve now. We provide a free online calculator that converts your jewelry to cash at up-to-the-minute spot prices. We insure your items for up to $75,000 per shipment free of charge. We videotape the entire valuation process so that you can view it online. You can call us toll-free at 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. Let Tiger Metal Exchange put more cash in your pocket without ever leaving the comfort of your home. Join the list of thousands of satisfied customers and go to TigerMetalExchange.com. It's the only click you need to make.
You've heard Bud Rolfs give his expert technical analysis of the stock market on the radio. Now you can have his superior trading advice and his best stock picks delivered right to your desktop every week with his newsletter, The Torch. Using his own trademarked Warpath trading system, Bud will help you to increase your odds of making and saving money in the markets with powerful stock selection, stock analysis, and trading plan strategies. Published every Monday morning, each issue of The Torch features full-color charts in an easy-to-follow format. You will also receive not only the big picture of what's going on in the major markets and critical sectors, but also featured stock picks with complete trading plans and technical setups, as well as the Subscribers Corner, where Bud analyzes stocks submitted by subscribers. Visit TFNN.com today and receive your 2-week free trial of The Torch. That's a $75 value. Sign up now and make sure you receive all the great market analysis and winning trade ideas in every action-packed issue of The Torch from Bud Rolfs. Put the power of the Chapman Wave methodology to work for you. No matter what market you trade, what time frame you trade in, or your trading style, the Opening Call, Basil Chapman's daily market newsletter, is bursting with the information and trades you need to become a more successful trader.
I've been using Basil Chapman's Chapman Wave methodology for several years now. His Chapman Wave can be used for any time period for not only equities, but futures, currencies, commodities. I've been also a subscriber of his Opening Call, which I find an invaluable tool to help me analyze the potential of the market each day. He gives you opportunities to go short and long. It includes recommendations on stocks. I strongly recommend people using the Chapman Wave, and I very, very strongly support the use of his Opening Call.
To find out more about Basil Chapman and his Chapman Wave methodology, and to get your 2-week free trial of the Opening Call, a $64 value, visit TFNN.com today.
Would you like to discover the next great tech stock? David White, TFNN's technology guru, has just launched his new newsletter, The Technology Insider. In his newsletter, David will be looking for those shining stars that may turn into the next Apple, Microsoft, or Cisco. David combines his technology background as a software programmer with his market skills as a successful professional trader to give you this unique newsletter. We're on the verge of the next great tech run. With the Technology Insider, you'll be in front of the run-up and not lagging behind. David is developing a long-term investment portfolio. Therefore, we're only offering the Technology Insider as an annual subscription with a remarkable price of only $395. That's right, for a little over $1 a day, you'll receive the fundamental technology wisdom and technical trading skills of the Technology Insider David White. What are you waiting for? Go to the front of TFNN.com, click on the link on the front page, sign up for your 2-week free trial, and become a Technology Insider today.
Hi folks, this is Tom O'Brien. My new book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, is for sale at Amazon.com for only $18.40.
Now, back to the Futures Hour.
Okay, we're back with John Hill of Futures Truth. If you have any questions, you'd like to have information about John, you can reach him at futurestruth.com. John, I have a couple of short questions. I know you love patterns because you got me involved with looking at the up-thrust reversals and spring reversals many, many years ago. Is there any one particular pattern that you really like to see when you're standing in front of your monitor getting ready to trade?
Oh, you mentioned the threes: springs, up-thrust, and breakout. It's all there. The trouble with me and most people is we spend our time looking at entry rather than exit. You've got to study how long these signals are good for. Sometimes they're only good for 1 or 2 bars. Sometimes it might be good for 20 bars. So the biggest thing you got to do is learn how to control the risk. In other words, if I enter a market, if it does not act right within about 3 bars, I'm out of there.
That's very good information.
So the main thing is controlling risk. And the springs, the upthrust, the breakout formations are all valid technical tools which we use in a lot of our real CTA type work. But then you can expand it out further. The opening of the week, the opening 3 days ago. And what we have is probably the best testing platform out there, bar none. And what I did back in the early 80s, I hired the program, and I said, you've got to design me a trading platform that I can put my simple ideas down and test them. And the fewer parameters, the better. There's such a thing as over-optimization, and you don't want to kid yourself. I can kid you and fool dozens of other people, but I can't fool myself. So you've got to, there are patterns that work, period. Learn how to control your risk. I would like to add one or two things here, Larry. I don't know what you've said about me. I think you've said I've put you on the right path or something. But I'd like to tell your listeners that was a two-way street. Larry is a very sharp guy, and I would present certain thoughts to him, and he would say, well, doesn't it work better this way? And so it's always a two-way street, and it certainly was with Larry.
Thank you very much, John, but, you really changed my life a great deal. I've always been grateful to that. People have asked, when you talk about the bars, even if you're trading a 5-minute bar, John, you mean after 3 5-minute bars, if it's not working the way you want, you will tighten up your stop or get out to reduce risk?
A 5-minute bar will beat you to death. What I like to look at is first the daily, and then I go down to the 30-minute to determine who's in control, the bulls or the bears. And to finally time my entry, I use the 10-minute chart, and I use the 10-minute chart to limit my risk.
Okay, John, we're wrapping up here. What I'm going to do is, if it's okay with you, in a couple weeks, I'll have you back on, and we'll go into some of these technical things that we've been talking about the last 20 or 30 minutes, if that's okay with you.
I'll be happy and honored, Larry.
Okay, and enjoy your family, and tell them I said hello. I know you're out traveling with them, so thanks again, John.
Can I add one more comment?
Go ahead, make it quick.
A speculator who dies rich dies before his time.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees develop.